figure this shit out. You're mad. Break up, Jesus Christ. Woo-hoo. Man, my neck hurt. Where am I? I come on invisible. It's crazy. How'd that happen? I'm in the pill bottle. I ain't coming out. I'm having too much fun. It's partying here. Maybe if you rub me out, I might pop out like a genie. A junkie genie. A junkie. I'll pop out like a junkie. I ain't gonna have a man bun though. Or MC Hammer pants. And we already talked about the magic carpet the other night. I don't feel like it's safe. Ain't even got no seatbelt. I have assless chaps, thank you. They don't fit me. I gotta scratch my eyebrow. I gotta fix this. No, I'm pissed off. You know how our governor did they banned mask mandates at schools? Well, these motherfuckers are trying. They're trying to fucking get them reinstated. Like school boards and the superintendent. What, bitch? Like, seriously? It's pissed me off. It's still, I mean, I don't know what they can do about it. She's talking about letting the court decide it. What the fuck, man? Just leave the goddamn kids alone. You know? In the shower. So I got my car parts in today. Ooh, I hit my knee. My bad. So I got my car part. No, did that even move? It might have moved. So I gotta fix that. And I went and picked up Judd's computer, so we got that set up. We don't have any games on it yet though, but woke up at 6:30 in the morning. Had to go drive him to school. Oh my god, because there's like two schools next to each other, so it's like all this goddamn traffic. But yeah. This whole shit's stressful. Oh man, I was like, whatever. I was like a bitch last night after I got off. I'm making his lunch and I'm fucking like crying in there. Because it was like last year was so traumatizing over all this shit, you know? So what I did was I sat down and I ate the two shitty peanut butter jelly sandwiches that I made him. They were I didn't want his first day of school to have these fucking mess. So I made him better ones and I'm sitting there eating them. like crying, and I drew little notes. Like I sketched Jason for Judd, Jason Voorhees, and I just wrote like shit, what did I write? I don't know. I'm proud of you. I love you. I was emotional last night because I had to go back to school today. A new school, number one. It fucking sucks. I mean, there's no mask mandates, but these bitches are trying to fight it. It pisses me off. Anyway, so yeah, and I drew a little cat for Elvie, put it in, stuck it in her lunchbox. I hate it. Wait, call this situation because your mom... What? What the fuck, though? It's telling them to mind their fucking business. Who are these people? I kind of went off on Twitter at the superintendent and the DHEC with a bunch of... I know they can't. I know they won't even look or whatever, but still, it's like I know we can't. All these legitimate scientists and stuff said all this, and I know we have to ignore all the evidence. We have to ignore all the evidence because we only listen to one fucking doctor now. But some of us are having kind of trouble living a lie because I'm not gonna do it. We just have to ignore all these mounds of evidence. From valid sources, valid people with credentials. We just gotta ignore it and act like we're scared. What's up? Blah. Can you go back? It's because I ran out of creative and I ran to this little head shop down the street that I don't really go to. All they had was red. I don't drink red, but I am now. You know what? Like, the fear porn to me is kind of hilarious if so many people didn't buy it. I look at this fucking Rochelle or whatever fuck, I don't even know her name. Whatever. The CDC lady, it's just obvious lies. Just blinking. It's just ridiculous. It's like, that's, you can't tell. I mean, it's that obvious. I mean, that maybe I might not be always good at telling if someone's lying, but when it's like that, though, it's just pretty fucking obvious. And then it's proven over and over again. I know they have. I was just showing Susie out back on the porch because she just went to bed. I was showing her that after-school video, the Menticide one, because it's really... She didn't watch it all, but it really explains it all. Oh, they went straight with you? Fucking mask holes, man. Yeah, I know. I'm happy. I'm happy. I'm on Rockfin too. Honestly, like right now too. At this moment, that's where the majority of my subscribers are. Cause it's almost 10. It's almost 10,000, and that's the most. So believe me, I'm happy. I'm on that, and I know they won't censor us. And after like months and months and months, I finally figured out how to get paid out. You gotta have some money. You gotta have some shit. The first day of school was pretty good. I mean, Jeb was just stoked because like I got this whole computer from work, and I had a friend like redo it all and shit like that. And that's where I went last night. We went and picked it up. I just gave him like $30 for doing it. He said give him 20. So yeah, I have a Telegram. Everything should be in the description. If it's not, then in the description there's a link tree, like the first link that has everything, absolutely everything in it. And I pay like $7 a month to have that motherfucker, so use it. Like, do you live in? Is it like your house? Do you live in like I don't know your situation. It's weird. Can you take off or something? Well, if shit's hitting the fan, can you take off? Too much liability and maybe too many of us got clean, You do have a wrench, you just don't when you come in. I have to see you first to give you a wrench. Yeah. So you gotta take off. Just fucking take off, get the fuck out of there. Hello. What is this? So many goddamn email addresses. So I can't use for certain shit. It's such a pain in the ass if I use Chrome and I try to go to like YouTube or something. There's like 3 accounts. If I'm on that one, it just won't even work. Ridiculous. Because I'm not allowed on YouTube in those accounts. Yeah. Fuck is this? Yeah, 9598. So we're getting there. Her power persuasion is way too strong. Anyone on you? Yeah. She takes you down and feeds your real needs. She takes you down washing you before you bleed. You watch her with your mind wide open and blind. Now you know why you. What? This whole thing gonna crack soon? Is that what you mean? Because I fucking hope so. I fucking hope so. It's goddamn ridiculous. And why did so many of us see it? We can't pretend. Oh, you're gonna crack. Okay. Well, I'm hoping the whole shit cracks. Cause it's got a bunch of cracks in it. I hope it fucking shatters. Oh, I wasn't on subs, but I was on methadone. Yeah. Yeah, I got off methadone. It took years, It's like a slow detox. Power out. Maybe. They're so mad that we won't let them prick us. So mad. It's insane. And rewatching this after school thing, it's like so much of it fucking makes sense. I can see what he's saying here and what one bitch in Australia is saying, about isolation and not letting people talk to each other. Should have said that, How you gonna dose with a mask on? Are you gonna dose with you gonna I was wondering how it would be right now. I'm thank God, because I couldn't imagine. Because like, I had anxiety. We had anxiety. Me and my mom would have anxiety about it all the time. Because say we have hurricanes here a lot. So say a hurricane comes and they'll call for an evacuation. And we're like, fuck, what are we gonna do? I hope they're open, boy. Like 5 in the morning, driving to the mental clinic. But I mean, it always worked out, but we never knew if it would. I don't know what the fuck's going on. Here's something I can say about Afghanistan. An Afghan, I thought it was a rug. I guess an Afghan's a blanket, and it's got a lot of holes in it. So, in a way, the veil is an Afghan, because the veil has a lot of holes in it. We can see right through that motherfucker. So, that's what I can say. This fucking knitted blanket's all worn out, and it's all stretched out. A wet blanket. I thought it was a rug. I said rug the other night or last night. I don't know. I kept singing. What was I singing? Come, Mr. Taliban, Taliban bandana. Taliban bandana. Gino, nice. Was Dizzy Reed there playing? Because I played with him. Was he playing for him now, still? He was nice. It's a dog? Hello. Yeah. It probably sounds better live than fucking Vince Neil, because I've seen him live a few times. I mean, it was still cool to see him all the crew, but still. Not getting take-homes. That's cool. Yeah, he was pretty cool. Yeah, well, we weaned off like really slow over time. We tapered down on our own, so yeah. I mean, it wasn't like kicking the sheet withdrawals or anything. I just felt like shit. I still do though, guy. It's been like 5-6 years. I still kind of feel like shit though. That's just how I feel. I don't know. Yeah, okay, that's good. That's good. I mean, I saw him years ago. I saw him in like 2004 or something like that, 2005. Well, it's cool to see Mick Mars play. Actually, I saw him at a stadium, and you know, it was cool or whatever. But I didn't like it. I didn't like the stadium because I didn't drink beer. I drank fucking liquor, and they didn't serve it. I was pissed off about that. I had to go outside and smoke. Then they played like an intimate show at House of Blues here. Which, you know, I've played House of Blues a bunch of times. It's not, I mean, it's big, but it's not huge. So, I don't know how many people it holds. If I had to guess, 2,000, I don't know, though. That's not a lot, though, for them. What's up? I'll say that Vince did a lot better on the songs that he played guitar on. Because they're slower and shit. Pulled those off better when I saw them. Yeah? Are you always hot? Because I'm always hot. Hot as shit right now. Yeah, it was cool. Ooh. Even if I'm cold, I'm like hot though, I feel like. Ooh. Yeah, alright, I'm hot as shit, right? Yeah, I'm always hot. I'm like a fucking, I don't even know. The opposite of a lizard. It's because, you know, they're cold-blooded. I'm always burning up and shit. You know, I was always that way on methadone too, and I would pour sweat, like fucking outside in I live in the South, so it's like the humid ass heat. And I was a lot heavier on methadone. Fucking tits pouring sweat. I'd be outside like, and I always had to eat. Nah, I'm into all that shit. I mean, I lost weight recently just because Wendy's has closed down. But it's opened up again. But I mean, I've eaten there a couple times. But listen, the fucking line is ridiculous. I ain't got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. I went to the gas station. I ate a bag of nuts. For real. I ate a bag of fucking nuts. That's how bad off it was. Chick-fil-A. I couldn't do the fucking pull up and you bring me my food up to the car so I don't have to wait in line because it was raining out. It's pouring out. I went over there. I fucking drove across the highway on the Chick-fil-A just to look, scope it out. Nope, that wasn't happening. Went and got a bag of nuts. I had to eat something. I was starving. Oh yeah, methadone. Oh my god, yeah. You would like once a week. You would like birth a fucking potato. It sucked. It's horrible. Horrible. It's traumatizing. I know, man. Oh my god. Yeah. What are those things in Indiana Jones where he gets with like the rock with like the things in them, whatever, the Kalima? That's like that was one methadone turd. It's true though, honestly. God damn. Fucking shitting out gremlin eggs or something. Mashed potatoes. Yes, there you go. I don't know what's going on with schools. It's goddamn ridiculous, though. Kalima. Kalima Tinte. Memories. I just did that little laugh a minute ago. I know I told some of you guys about. We used to tour with this band called Bloody Crackdown, and the singer Danny was an original Guar slave. You know, their road crew or whatever. They'd like dress up and like fix the microphone or whatever, get killed on stage. So he toured the whole world. I don't know about the whole world, but he did world tours in the 80s with him. Because I had his house in Richmond when we stayed there. There was like a Guar room and all this shit everywhere. Anyway, before he left, I think I broke his toilet, so. They weren't very good, but they had they always had a hot girl stripping on a stripper pole, which made them better. And they had a big fucking Great Dane. This big giant fucking dog that would come with them. And it was like so well behaved. They stayed in I lived in a double wide at the time. They stayed there for a few times. Oh. Pretty sure I broke his toilet. Damn, sorry. Well, it's not real piss and blood and juice, but I know you get pink eye after. Not that it's infected or anything, but we would always go to like Waffle House covered in the blood's all pink everywhere you face. It's all over the goddamn place everywhere. Yep. It's coming in waves, But they also send it in waves of terror. I was just watching that video again, so. Is that where they got it? I don't know, man. What's up with the mustache is all I know. like, I know it's getting harder. It's getting harder to like fathom trying to communicate with these people. They're in a different reality. Because man, we should. I almost feel like we should watch the After School thing again. I don't know. So I was just watching it, right, and it's like slowly making sense again, you know. Yeah. I know they do. It's like you'll see that a lot, like wishing death on us because they're so unsure that they made the right decision, you know. So at least if we die, then they could say they were right. It is a religion. You want to watch it? It's 20 minutes. It's good though. I mean, I've already seen it like 4 times and I don't mind watching it again. It's that good. God damn it. Get over here. Oh, whoa, I went in our stream. It's like Spaceballs. Alright. It's gonna make a lot of sense, I'm just saying. Let's do it. Do the damn thing. And then I'll just leave it, yeah, and that way I can see what you guys are saying too. So I'll put you guys right here, and we'll do this. I'm gonna set it up, make it fancy. Yes, I still have my son's siren head background. Alright, put you something like that. So I won't see the YouTube chat, but you're over here too. I just won't see if there's anything special or anything. Alright, what am I doing? Where the fuck's the music coming from? Is that in my head? I wish. I wanted like my own soundtrack in my head. There is one there actually. I just don't think it's real. I don't know, but what's real? Anyway, I was right here. Come on. Come on. Jennifer Aniston.
T-Mobile is your new choice in coverage and value. We've been investing billions.
No. 5G network to small towns like yours. I miss having fucking YouTube Red, but I'm not paying that shit.
Presentation was written and narrated by
After what they did to me. After what they did to me. Sorry, I'll shut up now. Let's do it.
Masses have never thirsted after.
Oh, come on. All right. Whoops. Take the bucket.
The masses have never thirsted after truth. They turn aside from evidence that is not to their taste, preferring to deify error if error seduce them. Whoever can supply them with illusions is easily their master. Whoever attempts to destroy their illusions is always their victim. According to the psychologist Carl Jung, the greatest threat to civilization lies not with the forces of nature, nor with any physical disease, but with our inability to deal with the forces of our own psyche. We are our own worst enemies, or as the Latin proverb puts it, man is a wolf to man. In Civilization in Transition, Jung states that this proverb is a sad yet eternal truism, and our wolf-like tendencies come most prominently into play at those times of history when mental illness becomes the norm rather than the exception in a society, a situation which Jung termed a psychic epidemic. Indeed, it is becoming ever more obvious, he writes, that it is not famine, not earthquakes, not microbes, not cancer, but man himself, who is man's greatest danger to man, for the simple reason that there is no adequate protection against psychic epidemics, which are infinitely more devastating than the worst of natural catastrophes. In this video, we are going to explore the most dangerous of all psychic epidemics, the mass psychosis. A mass psychosis is an epidemic of madness, And it occurs when a large portion of a society loses touch with reality and descends into delusions. Such a phenomenon is not a thing of fiction. Two examples of mass psychoses are the American and European witch hunts of the 16th and 17th centuries, and the rise of totalitarianism in the 20th century. During the witch hunts, thousands of individuals, mostly women, were killed, not for any crimes they committed, but because they became the scapegoats of societies gone mad. In some Swiss villages, writes Francis Hill, there were scarcely any women left alive after the frenzy had finally burned itself out. When a mass psychosis occurs, the results are devastating.
It's so funny.
Jung studied this phenomenon and wrote that the individuals who make up the infected society become morally and spiritually inferior. They sink unconsciously to an inferior intellectual level. They become more unreasonable, irresponsible, emotional, erratic, and unreliable. And worst of all, crimes the individual alone could never stand are freely committed by the group smitten by madness. What makes matters worse is that those suffering from a mass psychosis are unaware of what is occurring. For just as an individual gone mad cannot step out of his mind to observe the errors in his ways, so too there is no Archimedean point from which those living through a mass psychosis can observe their collective madness. But what causes a mass psychosis? To answer this question, we must first explore what drives an individual mad. While there are many potential triggers of madness, such as an excessive use of drugs or alcohol, brain injuries, and other illnesses, these physical causes will not concern us here. Our concern is with psychological, or what are called psychogenic triggers, as these are the most common culprits of the mass psychosis.
Oh, scary.
The most prevalent psychogenic cause of a psychosis is a flood of negative emotions, such as fear or anxiety, that drives an individual into a state of panic. When in a state of panic, an individual will naturally seek relief, as it is too mentally and physically draining to subsist in this hyper-emotional state. While escaping from the state of panic can be accomplished through adaptive means, such as facing up to and defeating the fear-generating threat, another way to escape is to undergo a psychotic break. A psychotic break is not a descent into a state of greater disorder, as many believe, but a reordering of one's experiential world, which blends fact and fiction, or delusions and reality.
So this is something that like stood out to me earlier. So they have like all this shit's going on, all the propaganda and fear. They have the psychotic break and they kind of restructure reality that fits, with their new world perspective.
A way that helps end the feelings of panic. Silvano Arietti, one of the 20th century's foremost authorities on schizophrenia, explains the psychogenic steps that lead to madness. Firstly, there is the phase of panic, when the patient starts to perceive things in a different way, is frightened on account of it, appears confused, and does not know how to explain the strange things that are happening. The next step is what Arietti calls a phase of psychotic insight, whereby an individual succeeds in putting things together by devising a pathological way of seeing reality which allows him to explain his abnormal experiences. The phenomenon is called insight because the patient finally sees meaning and relations in his experiences. But the insight is psychotic because it is based on delusions, not on adaptive and life-promoting ways of relating to whatever threats precipitated the panic. The delusions, in other words, allow the panic-stricken individual to escape from the flood of negative emotions, but at the cost of losing touch with reality, and for this reason, Arietti says that a psychotic break can be viewed as an abnormal way of dealing with an extreme state of anxiety. If a panic-triggering flood of negative emotions in a weak and vulnerable individual can trigger a psychotic break, then a mass psychosis can result when a population of weak and vulnerable individuals is driven into a state of panic by threats real, imagined, or fabricated. But as delusions can take many forms, and as madness can manifest in countless ways, the specific manner in which a mass psychosis unfolds will differ based on the historical and cultural context of the infected society. But in the modern era, it is the mass psychosis of totalitarianism that appears to be the greatest threat. Totalitarianism, writes Arthur Versluis, is the modern phenomenon of total centralized state power, coupled with the obliteration of individual human rights. In the totalized state, there are those in power, and there are the objectified masses, the victims. In a totalitarian society, the population is divided into two groups, the rulers and the ruled, and both groups undergo a pathological transformation. The rulers are elevated to an almost godlike status, which is diametrically opposed to our nature as imperfect beings who are easily corrupted by power. The masses, on the other hand, are transformed into the dependent subjects of these pathological rulers and take on a psychologically regressed and childlike status. Hannah Arendt, one of the 20th century's preeminent scholars of this form of rule, called totalitarianism an attempted transformation of human nature itself. But this attempted transformation only turns sound minds into sick minds, for as the Dutch medical doctor who studied the mental effects of living under totalitarianism wrote, "There is in fact much that is comparable between the strange reactions of the citizens of totalitarianism and their culture as a whole, on the one hand, and the reactions of the sick schizophrenic on the other." The social transformation that unfolds under totalitarianism is built upon and sustained by delusions. For only deluded men and women regress to the childlike status of obedient and submissive subjects, and hand over complete control of their lives to politicians and bureaucrats. Only a deluded ruling class will believe that they possess the knowledge, wisdom, and acumen to completely control society in a top-down manner. And only when under the spell of delusions would anyone believe that a society composed of power-hungry rulers on the one hand, and a psychologically regressed population on the other, will lead to anything other than mass suffering and social ruin. But what triggers the psychosis of totalitarianism? As was explored in the previous video of this series, the mass psychosis of totalitarianism begins in a society's ruling class. The individuals that make up this class, be it politicians, bureaucrats, or crony capitalists, are very prone to delusions that augment their power, and no delusion is more attractive to the power-hungry than the delusion that they can and should control and dominate a society. When a ruling elite becomes possessed by a political ideology of this sort, be it communism, fascism, or technocracy, the next step is to induce a population into accepting their rule by infecting them with the mass psychosis of totalitarianism. This psychosis has been induced many times throughout history, and as Mirlu explains, it is simply a question of reorganizing and manipulating collective feelings in the proper way. The general method by which the members of a ruling elite can accomplish this end is called menticide, with the etymology of this word being a killing of the mind. And as Mirlu further explains, menticide is an old crime against the human mind and spirit, but systematized anew. It is an organized system of psychological intervention and judicial perversion through which a ruling class can imprint their own opportunistic thoughts upon the minds of those they plan to use and destroy. Priming a population for the crime of menticide begins with the sowing of fear. When an individual is flooded with negative emotions, such as fear or anxiety, he or she is very susceptible to a descent into the delusions of madness. Threats, real, imagined, or fabricated, can be used to sow fear, but a particularly effective technique is to use waves of terror.
Right here.
Under this technique, the sowing of fear is staggered with periods of calm. But each of these periods of calm is followed by the manufacturing of an even more intense spell of fear. And on the process goes. Or as Mirlu writes, each wave of terrorizing creates its effects more easily after a breathing spell than the one that preceded it, because people are still disturbed by their previous experience. Morality becomes lower and lower, and the psychological effects of each new propaganda campaign become stronger. It reaches a public already softened up. While fear primes a population for menticide, the use of propaganda to spread misinformation and to promote confusion with respect to the source of the threats and the nature of the crisis helps to break down the minds of the masses. Government officials and their lackeys in the media can use contradictory reports, nonsensical information, and even blatant lies. As the more they confuse, the less capable will a population be to cope with the crisis and diminish their fear in a rational and adaptive manner. Confusion, in other words, heightens the susceptibility of a descent into the delusions of totalitarianism.
Confusion.
Or as Mirlu explains, logic can be met with logic, while illogic cannot. It confuses those who think straight. The big lie and monotonously repeated nonsense have more emotional appeal than logic and reason. While the people are still searching for a reasonable counter-argument to the first lie, the totalitarians can assault them with another. Never before in history have such effective means existed to manipulate a society into the psychosis of totalitarianism. Smartphones and social media, television and the internet, all in conjunction with algorithms that quickly censor the flow of unwanted information, allow those in power to easily assault the minds of the masses. What is more, the addictive nature of these technologies means that many people voluntarily subject themselves to the ruling elite's propaganda with a remarkable frequency. Modern technology, explains Mirlu, teaches man to take for granted the world he is looking at. He takes no time to retreat and reflect. Technology lures him on, dropping him into its wheels and movements. No rest, no meditation, no reflection, no conversation. The senses are continually overloaded with stimuli. Man doesn't learn to question his world anymore. The screen offers him answers, ready-made. But there is a further step the would-be totalitarian rulers can take to increase the chance of a totalitarian psychosis. And this is to isolate the victims and to disrupt normal social interactions. When alone and lacking normal interactions with friends, family, and co-workers, an individual becomes far more susceptible to delusions for several reasons. Firstly, they lose contact with the corrective force of the positive example, for not everyone is tricked by the machinations of the ruling elite, and the individuals who see through the propaganda can help free others from the menticidal assault. If, however, isolation is enforced, the power of these positive examples greatly diminishes. But another reason that isolation increases the efficacy of menticide is because, like many other species, human beings are more easily conditioned into new patterns of thought and behavior when isolated. Or as Mirlu explains with regards to the physiologist Ivan Pavlov's work on behavioral conditioning, Pavlov made another significant discovery. The conditioned reflex could be developed most easily in a quiet laboratory with a minimum of disturbing stimuli. Every trainer of animals knows this from his own experience. Isolation and the patient repetition of stimuli are required to tame wild animals. The totalitarians have followed this rule. They know that they can condition their political victims most quickly if they are kept in isolation. Alone, confused, and battered by waves of terror, a population under an attack of menticide descends into a hopeless and vulnerable state. The never-ending stream of propaganda turns minds once capable of rational thought into playhouses of irrational forces. And with chaos swirling around them and within them, the masses crave a return to a more ordered world. The would-be totalitarians can now take the decisive step. They can offer a way out and a return to order in a world that seems to be moving rapidly in the opposite direction. But all this comes at a price. The masses must give up their freedom and cede control of all aspects of life to the ruling elite. They must relinquish their capacity to be self-reliant individuals who are responsible for their own lives, and become submissive and obedient subjects. The masses, in other words, must descend into the delusions of the totalitarian psychosis. The totalitarian systems of the 20th century represent a kind of collective psychosis. Whether gradually or suddenly, reason and common human decency are no longer possible in such a system. There is only a pervasive atmosphere of terror and a projection of the enemy, imagined to be in our midst. Thus society turns on itself, urged on by the ruling authorities. But the order of a totalitarian world is a pathological order. By enforcing a strict conformity and requiring a blind obedience from the citizenry, totalitarianism rids the world of the spontaneity that produces many of life's joys and the creativity that drives society forward. The total control of this form of rule, no matter under what name it is branded, be it rule by scientists and doctors, politicians and bureaucrats, or a dictator, breeds stagnation, destruction, and death on a mass scale. And so perhaps the most important question facing the world is how can totalitarianism be prevented? And if a society has been induced into the early stages of this mass psychosis, can the effects be reversed? While one can never be sure of the prognosis of a collective madness, there are steps that can be taken to help effectuate a cure. This task, however, necessitates many different approaches from many different people. For just as the menticidal attack is multi-pronged, so too must be the counterattack. According to Carl Jung, for those of us who wish to help return sanity to an insane world, the first step is to bring order to our own minds and to live in a way that provides inspiration for others to follow. It is not for nothing that our age cries out for the Redeemer personality, for the one who can emancipate himself from the grip of the collective psychosis and save at least his own soul, who lights a beacon of hope for others, proclaiming that here is at least one man who has succeeded in extricating himself from the fatal identity with the group psyche. But assuming one is living in a manner free of the grip of the psychosis, there are further steps that can be taken. Information that counters the propaganda should be spread as far and as wide as possible, for the truth is more powerful than the fiction and falsities peddled by the would-be totalitarian rulers, and so their success is in part contingent on their ability to censor the free flow of information. Another tactic is to use humor and ridicule to delegitimize the ruling elite, or as Mirlu explains, we must learn to treat the demagogue and aspirant dictators in our midst with the weapon of ridicule. The demagogue himself is almost incapable of humor of any sort, and if we treat him with humor, he will begin to collapse. A tactic recommended by Václav Havel, a political dissident under Soviet communist rule, who later became president of Czechoslovakia, is the construction of what are called parallel structures. A parallel structure is any form of organization, business, institution, technology, or creative pursuit that exists physically within a totalitarian society, yet morally outside of it. In communist Czechoslovakia, Havel noted that these parallel structures were more effective at combating totalitarianism than political action. Furthermore, when enough parallel structures are created, a second culture, or parallel society, spontaneously forms and functions as an enclave of freedom and sanity within a totalitarian world. Or as Havel explains in his book, The Power of the Powerless. What else are parallel structures than an area where a different life can be lived? A life that is in harmony with its own aims, and which in turn structures itself in harmony with those aims. What else are those initial attempts at social self-organization than the efforts of a certain part of society to rid itself of the self-sustaining aspects of totalitarianism, and thus, to extricate itself radically from its involvement in the totalitarian system? But above all else, what is required to prevent a full descent into the madness of totalitarianism is action by as many people as possible. For just as the ruling elite do not sit around passively, but instead take deliberate steps to increase their power, so too an active and concerted effort must be made to move the world back in the direction of freedom. This can be an immense challenge in a world falling prey to the delusions of totalitarianism, but as Thomas Paine noted, tyranny, like hell, is not easily conquered. Yet we have this consolation with us, that the harder the conflict, the more glorious the triumph.
That's it. Ton of work. I can imagine. Well, I mean, Yeah, it pretty much just lays it out, you know. Makes sense a lot. The problem is, are we too late? I think there's, I don't know. I still have this hope. Because there's so much fucking shit out there, man. There's so much evidence, you know? Yeah, we have to. We got to. Yeah, I mean, what else are we gonna do? Yes. Yeah, it's Oasis. Ooh. Ooh. Like, I think the biggest problem, well, I don't know, there's a lot of problems. I don't know what the biggest is, but a big problem is people sticking up for this shit, you know? The Faustian bargain or whatever. Yeah, it's Oasis. Like I said, I think it has a lot to do in here. You know? Or maybe like collectively somehow. Oh, put my little leg up. There you go. That's good. Well, this thing over here. Woo. Oh, knock it over. Yeah, it's crazy. But that video kind of helped explain it to me. You know, I mean, I know about like mass psychosis because that's what I was thought this and well everything is pretty much. It's like a mass mind control, but instead of a honeycomb, it's more like split your mind in two and build a wall in the middle so you can't see how things can act, kind of, you know. Yeah. Hell no. People just like we're conditioned to think we're idiots. I mean, some of us are. Or I mean, I think I'm an idiot in certain things, but you know, not like common sense. This is like easy. This should be easy. It was originally, yeah, sure, like. It was originally by Academy of Ideas, which I listen to him a lot. He does really good videos. But it was picked up by After School, which drew it. What the fuck is that? I'll find it. I've watched it like 4 times. But tonight he clicked for some reason. I mean, it already did before, but like a few other things clicked to me. Like the whatever. I don't fucking know what I'm talking about. Oh, that's where it is. That was 21 minutes for like 6 hours, and I didn't mind it either. I'm just saying.
This after-school presentation.
Descendants? Jesus. I just found out this punk club in Columbia, South Carolina, that I used to play at and go to. So the Voodoo Glow Skulls there. That's where they signed my guitar. They signed my guitar. One of my guitars, like one of my first guitars. They won't let you go without a pass or a fucking negative test. When punk goes Nazi. I call it cuck rock now. Cuck rockers. Hackers Land. I mean, I don't know. I think a lot's gonna happen. I just don't know what. Yep, cuck rock. Fucking sitting there. Letting the fucking fat ass government like fuck their girlfriends and wives and It's like Braveheart, right? Then the king had to have sex with other girls first or something like that. I don't know. That's a long fucking movie. I don't know if I ever saw it. I think I did, maybe. Actually, I think I was. Whatever. I don't know. Is that what it's about? Is that what it might? Cause that's fucked up if it is. Was that what it was about? I don't remember. Yeah, what if this though? What if every 200 years it's them doing it? Them manufacturing something and finding a way to do it, you know? Maybe that's what it is. Probably is. Did he? Yep. Ridiculous. Oh, it's backwards land. We live in backwards land. Why do he have blue paint on his face? I don't get it. Why was half his face blue? Just making a statement or something? I don't know. I never got that part. Oh yeah, I get migraines. I have one today. Hello. Yep. Fucking pouring rain at work. I was like, fuck. But then my boss wanted me to go play with TikTok because, you know, he wants me to do the TikTok for work. So, and I'm old. I don't know how to work the motherfucker. So, I got paid to do it, to go around and try to come up with shit. I can't force it though, you know. Like ideas come, that's fine, but they can't. Like same with my videos. Like if I'm doing it for work, if I'm doing it for whatever, it can't be forced. I mean, I can be told to do something, and it will come. It will, you know, I make our advertisements for work every month. I never know what the fuck it's gonna look like until I get there. I'm confident in that, in my ability, but I can't force it though. Yeah. Good night. Wow. Nope. Scotland's blue. Yeah. I'm fine. I mean, it happens. I wonder if it's like sometimes I think it's just maybe I haven't drunk enough water. And you know what? I don't ever have a marker on me. I want to start writing. It might sound weird. I want to start writing on my water bottles, like love, healing, whatever. Just like positive intentions, because you know that shit works. It does. Isn't it weird that when you cheer somebody, you like to whatever, to health, to money, whatever. because everything holds memory. Water does, so I'm sure alcohol does too. But it's weird they call that a spirit. I don't know. Never a marker on me. I need a marker. Write no migraines on it. Maybe that'll work. I don't know. It's 2 words though. I'm staring at a half-empty bottle of water. You wrote on yours? I mean, we know, you know, I mean, I'm sure everybody knows about the water experiments and stuff, you know. Yeah. Lucky. Like, Mad Max. Damn, this would be like forever to think of one. The fuck was the other one I was thinking of? Can't think of it. I don't like typing stuff. Come on. I worked all day. Come on. Come on. No hands, see? Woo. Could be. Could be. Could be. You never know. I like to be on Thunderdome. I've never bought a dime bag. I'm just leaning up and saying a statement and leaning back down. I second guessed myself because I almost leaned up and said that's what's going on, but really? Weird. I mean, I had heard stuff like that too. Like, yeah, a few months ago, mostly, but I don't think I ever got into it. Wife bitching? Oh, yeah, just like me. Just like me. Now she's on YouTube. She don't even know the fucking password. I try to like, watch this. Well, I don't remember my password. No, she don't. Oh, like Ed, my singer. Fucking hit me like he's got a fucking sock full of change trying to buy like $5, you know, back when I used to sell stuff. So I never even tried. I don't want this fucking dirty change. A cock rocker, these fucking bitch ass wannabe. It's like all these punk bands and shit that are just fucking going along with like we gotta get the vaccine pass, blah blah blah. Night, good to see you again. Oh yeah. That's why he was only buying dime bags. He was buying Coke. Yeah, we just practiced last week, but this show we were supposed to play in October got moved to springtime, which I'm pretty pissed off about because of COVID. So it's like, what are you just gonna keep moving it? I mean, it's an outdoor show mostly. I mean, I think it's indoor, outdoor. So I think because there's like so many bands playing, so they moved it to spring. But yeah, we just practiced last week and the week before that. I don't think we're practicing this week. I think Ed's working nights, but next week probably. We just had to like kind of start over again because our drummer sold his house, and you know he's traveling around with his family, so we had to get a new drummer. Oh, and I was just up at the new studio. See, my drummer owned the studio that we used to go to, Jam City. He owned it, but even before we were in a band with him again, we were still recording there because, you know, we've been friends with him forever. And he does a good job and shit, but he wasn't the one he was just the owner. There was somebody else, DC recorded us. So DC and the guy that filmed that last video I was in where I wore I had 2 left shoes, so I had to wear sandals. So DC and that dude bought this new studio. It's fucking amazing. They're still building it. And this is the guy singing right here that we were doing the show for. He has cancer, Michael Wood. So they moving into the springtime. Actually, I think they were going to be playing too. Something about vampires and sluts. Yep. Got moved. Yeah. Well, he sold his house right after we did, right? And then we got this house. Like, we got lucky because somebody else, I guess it fell on, like somebody else like didn't get it or whatever. And like that's like when all the houses, there was a bunch of houses around here, bunch, cool ones too. Then all of a sudden there was nothing, and he had an RV anyway, you know. So, I mean, whatever, it's totally cool. If he ever comes back, he'll just rejoin and do something else, you know. But yeah, it's fine, it's fine. But you know, just have to start over. Chocula. Botox? Hell no. Oh, but I talked to the dude up there because he fixed this computer for my son. Because I got to record a couple of my songs, so I might do that. Like 2 of them. Whoa. I've heard of it. I never even stuck drugs in me with a needle. I'm not sticking anything. Chocula. Ain't nothing. Oh, ooh. I think this one might copyright. And that's a weird version. That's kind of slow. It's gonna keep going. That'll work. That'll do, pig. That'll do. Oh, for migraines. Yeah, I never got in the Pantera, but you know, I respect them and everything. That whole shit was fucked up though, because I was in a band with my brother for like a decade, so I can't imagine, you know. Well, I know they do. NIH supposedly even recommended at one point children as young as 8 years old be put on hormone blockers. I found that. Shit, I got it somewhere. I found it. I find lots of, that's the problem, is I find too much and I'll fucking like stick links somewhere and then I'll forget about it or whatever. But it happens more often than not. I'll stick them in my notepad, or I'll email them to myself like a bunch of links at once, then I'll forget about them. Sometimes, I mean, if it's really good, if I found something really good, I won't forget about it, but stuff I just want to dig through, kind of. Oh, I was looking up yeah, I mean, we already know what lockstep is. I was looking it up earlier because I saw Jen Psaki said lockstep today. And I was like, yeah, well, of course. What did I find? U.S. Department of State of Policing Population Policy Lockstep, 1999, I think. Was this 99? Why did I think it was 1999? It might have been. Might be. I don't know. Here, let me email it to myself. We'll look at it real quick. I mean, it might not be anything, but alright. Hold on. Let me figure this out real quick. Go to Gab, because I shared this little clip on Gab. I'm out there too much, so sometimes I'll just share shit there because I'm like, oh yeah, there's that. There's too many shits. Too many shits to go to. Then I had to go fucking to my feed here. Profile. Okay, so there's one. Let me go to the email. Send. Fucking do something. What are you doing? Yeah. Hold up. I'll turn you around. Okay. Open that. Okay. Let me get you. Whoops. So much going on. God damn it. Oh. Man, that was like my mother-in-law. Oh. Alright, so yeah, here, let's look. Oh. So I saw this today, during her little fucking talk today or whatever. Oh, you can probably hear both. Alright. What'd I do? Just wanted to pause for a second. Man, I just fucked up Oxycontin. Where the fuck was I? Brave. No, that was Brave. It wasn't very... No, that's... Yeah, okay, we'll go over here. Fly on me.
Does he still have confidence in his intelligence teams?
He certainly does. He works in lockstep, and he's been briefed on a regular basis, as Jake just outlined, multiple times a day sometimes, by members of his national security team.
All right, yeah, just like, you're gonna fucking say that shit? You know what you said. You said it. All right, here. Whoop. Oh. Went too far. All right. So the U.S. Department of State is policing the population policy lockstep. And yeah, 1999, October 9, 1999. I haven't read it. I kind of skimmed through it for a second. This is a major theme. Next population conference. What is this? Here's a sequel. What? Earth's population lady. From Mars. Fucking aliens? What are you talking about here? Oh. What the fuck is that? What? The silence? The silence that surrounds population control. Fuck is that? Oh, these are just like references. Nations. But this is lockstep before lockstep. Lockstep, I can't find it. First heard it from the U.S. demographer. He pointed out that there are no original thing, whatever. U.S. population scene. I don't know. Lockstep is a mode of marching in a very close file in which the leg of each person moves. All right, that's not. Lockstep is a practical manifestation of the. What is that? I don't know this word. What? It just goes straight back there? That's not it, is it? Point of far is a Martian view. What the hell? Alright, so this is it. PDF. I don't know what the fuck any of this shit is. It's a lot of words though. What is this? In May, let's see, $1 or $2 a day for participating in skin study. The fuck is this? I don't get it. What, they're pretending to be Martians to write like a paper? I don't know. People are fucking insane. It's weird. Here. Put this right here. I get the other one too. The fuck is this? Alright, this one. I'm just trying to glance it, but oh, and you know what? I saw something about one child. Yeah, one child. Public business. Oh my God. American way of life. Yankee reality. It's Cairo for U.S., UN, academia, press, business, public. Population. Consent manufactured. God damn, man. Condition in which the population exceeds or is shortly expected to exceed 3 constraints: the carrying capacity of its ecosystem and its ability to migrate, and the ability of its economy to generate sufficient exports, which it can exchange for food and other essentials. This ends in malignant uproar, starvation, and slaughter. Pressure for population growth inherent. Alright. Confine their families to 2 children only. Also getting on the one-child families. A variety of factors which, in addition to the taboo, this is what Hardinian? It's hard to say. Make it difficult to control population numbers. These include the position of certain religious groups in respect of family planning, aspects of the human rights movement, and the requirement that if the South is to moderate its fertility, the North should moderate its resource consumption. Oh, that's that. I meant down here. What is this? Oh, after Garrett Hardin. And it's the most obvious over the non-recognition of demographic entrapment. Psychological failing, supposedly inherent in our psyche, that makes us unable to control our population numbers. Oh, that's what they're calling us or something. I don't know, there's too much here. Yeah, there's too much here. Let me share it though. What the fuck, man? I don't even know what I found. And that's pretty much how it works. I think I was just trying to find out, because I knew Lockstep was written in what, 2009 or 10? 2010. I was wondering if the term was around before that, and that's what I ran into. So. Oh. It's crazy. I don't get it. I don't get it. Fucking Martians and shit. Is Jensaki a Martian? I think that's what it is. Damn, it's been an hour and 20 minutes. I gotta wake up ass early in the morning. I don't know what I'm doing. Alright, so I think I'm gonna call it, because I gotta wake up. But there's the links. Go ahead and read them, because that was big words I said. It's hard to read out loud. You try it. I do it all the time. It sucks. I gotta edit it down and shit. I fuck up all the time.